come up to 7 minutes past 3, and that means that it's politics now. Well, what other political issue can we talk about but elections, presidential candidates, vote, locating your polling booth, polling unit, and whatsoever, so you can be a part of the elections come Saturday. How are you doing today? I was walking past a bank just a few minutes ago, and I saw the big fight going on just to gain access. People looking for Nigerian naira. It's as scarce as whatever. I think dollars are even more available in Nigeria now than even the Nigerian naira, and that is not good enough. So the citizens are going through a lot of challenges, including myself. I don't want to go into the stories of what I've been through over this naira issue, but I mean, our leaders, please look into it. Reduce the suffering of the people. The Nigerians are going through a lot of challenges, and the result we're expecting to get from this particular redesign of the naira, I don't think it's as big as the challenges we're going through. If we're trying to curb vote buying, then I don't think vote buying, the positives we're going to get out of that is going to be commensurate with the challenges that Nigerians are going through across the country. So please, we need to do something about it. All right, so that's it. Okay, I understand that. All right, so it's politics now. And as you know, every day we talk about the issues, about what is going on in our country. How do we vote? How do we do that? So today we'll be looking at all these issues to find out exactly what happens. Who do we vote? What kind of person do we want? With the challenges of Nigeria right now, how do we get, who do we believe who can really be of service to us and give us the country that we desire? Who can lead us from here? Some people believe that Nigeria is in a wilderness right now. So who is going to lead us out of the wilderness? And a friend of mine told me that he's actually very sorry for the next president of Nigeria, that the challenges before that president are enormous. Well, let's see. We'll be finding out. I have joining me a friend of the house. I have joining me a friend of the house to look at this issue. He's joining me on phone, actually. And I have the pleasure of having a development economist, a regular in the house here, Philemon Ajikuko. Good afternoon, Philemon. Hello, Philemon.
Good afternoon, sir. How are you doing today?
I'm very well.
Can you hear me?
Yes, I'm hearing you very loud and clear, yes.
I'm okay. How about you?
I'm very well. I'm very well. You have some naira in your pocket?
I don't care about having naira in my pocket.
Oh, you are an international man. You don't need naira like people like us.
I've been used to that. I love online transactions, really, because it's the best way you can keep track of what you are spending.
Okay.
Whenever you have some issues, you can quickly look up your bank statement and find out where the money has gone into. But when you do cash, you can't account for it.
Okay, I agree with that
so
too.
I'm comfortable at least that.
Okay. All right. So, Philemon, I hope you just hold up a minute. I want to have a little conversation with the director of. We have the director of voter education at the Independent National Electoral Commission. That is the FCT office, talking with us, because we had some issues yesterday of our callers saying they cannot locate their polling booths, their polling units. Good afternoon, Madam Agnes.
Okay. Good afternoon.
Okay, this is Madam Agnes. Please, could you just introduce yourself to our listeners, please?
My name is Agnes Sam Akpe, Head of Department Voter Education and Publicity, INEC FCT.
All right, Madam, I want to thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. We made a promise. We made a promise to our listeners yesterday that we're going to help them to locate their polling booths, because it will be very important for them to locate it before Saturday, so they can be able to not have problems on Saturday while going to vote. So I don't know, how can you help us inform them? Somebody called from Maraba, some others from Karu, and said they were looking for their polling unit, their polling booth or unit, I don't know, and they could not find it.
Yes, it's so very important that they locate it before Saturday. Actually, I think the reason is because some people were migrated from overpopulated polling units to some others that are less congested within the same area, just to make it more seamless.
All right.
But to locate and confirm your polling unit, what you need to do, there are two different ways to go about it.
Okay.
You can either get it via SMS or by going to the INEC website. If you want to get it through SMS, what you do is you text the name of your state, your last name, and the last 6 digits of your VIN. The VIN is the voter identification number, which is peculiar to every voter. It's on your card. You see a long series of numbers, digits.
Okay.
They're about 19 in number. So you take the last 6 digits and then you send that text to 0906
okay.
2830860.
You please take that number again, please.
I'll take it again. Text it to 0906 2830860.
Okay.
Or there's another number you can also text it to.
Oh, yeah.
You can send it to 0906 2830861. That's the second number you could use.
Okay.
And then, yes.
Okay. I'm trying
Also,
to pull out my voter card so that you can describe to me, so that I want people to understand exactly which is their NIN number.
VIN.
Oh, VIN, right? VIN.
Yes.
Okay.
VIN, that's voter identification number.
Okay.
It's right at the top, 19 digits.
Okay, at the top.
It's a series of numbers, yes.
Oh,
19 digits.
okay, that is true. Under there's something that's in the voter's card. I can see VIN right under voter's card.
That's it.
So in case you're listening,
so you
please.
take the last 6 digits.
Okay, the last 6 digits. I can see the last 6 digits of mine here. Okay.
Yes.
Okay, 080
So you text
and all of that. Okay, that is what you text these numbers.
Yes.
Okay. Madam Akpe, I know you are very busy. I know you had to break off from a meeting to just give us these few minutes so you can help our listeners to locate their polling booth. What do you call it? Is it a polling booth or polling unit?
Your polling units.
Okay, to locate that.
But like I said, there's another way.
Okay.
You can also get it on INEC website.
Okay, INEC website. Okay, please share that with us.
The link is www.voters.inecnigeria.org. I'll take it again. www.voters.inecnigeria.org.
Okay.
And then if you don't use that one, you could also use www.cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS. VVS. So www.cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS. Any of those means will be able to help you to locate and confirm your polling unit before the election day, so that you don't just go moving around on that day.
Okay. But I want to thank you very much. But quickly, before you go, let me just go through this again. You say we should text the last 6 digits of our VIN. And the VIN is boldly displayed here on that voter's card, in front of your card. You see it's about, yes, I can see mine is this more than 10 digits here, up to 19 even. And so the last 6 digits, and you said 0906 283 0860.
Yes.
Okay.
But you forgot something. I said text the name of your state.
Okay, you text the name of your state. Okay, the name of the state, then your last name.
Then your last name.
Yeah, your last name.
And then the last 6 digits.
Okay, then last 6 digits. That is correct. Okay, that is correct. And then, of course, the second telephone number is 0906 283 0861.
That's right.
Okay, and then you also said that there are 2 ways via the website to locate your voter your polling unit as well. www.voters.inecnigeria.org.
Yes.
Okay, and the second one is www.cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS.
Correct.
All right. Madam Agnes, I want to thank you so much for giving us your time this afternoon to help educate our voters so they don't have problems on Saturday.
I wish us all the very best. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much. We appreciate all of you. Please extend our regards to Alhaji Yaya Bello, the FCT rep, and the rest of your staff who have been doing the great job you're doing. We just hope that we'll get everything right on Saturday.
We pray so. They'll hear. Thank you so much.
All right, have a wonderful day. Bye-bye. All right, that's the voice of the INEC, like you heard there. Philemon? Hello, Philemon.
Yes, I'm here.
Okay.
I'm here.
Philemon, yeah. I'm very happy you're still there. We're just trying to help, help our listeners to ensure that they do not miss their way on Saturday to locate their polling units, to cast their vote for their preferred candidate.
Okay.
Yeah. I don't know about you. Have you located your polling unit?
Everything is set. We have no problems.
Well, now, Philemon, let's go straight to the point. Because right now, when you look at our country, I drove through Central area a few minutes ago, and there was this challenge. We see it's a chaotic environment, and our country seems there is fuel scarcity. There are queues. People are driving against traffic right there in the central business district of Abuja, the number one point in Nigeria, and by extension, the number one point in Africa. People are driving against traffic. Police, soldiers are standing. They can't do anything because it is a necessity that people have to do that in order to access fuel. We are fighting at ATM points, I saw a fight at a bank not too far from our studios here, and all of that. And all this put together is a challenge for the incoming government of a new president. What kind of person? You are a development economist. What kind of leader do you think Nigeria needs at this critical time going forward? Among these 18 presidential candidates, do you think there is somebody there with the panache, the savvy, and the ability to really bring all these challenges, plus the disunity, the insecurity we have and all of that, to put them on board and then rally Nigerians round to see how we can find solution to all these challenges?
That's quite a mouthful.
Of course, it is a mouthful because Nigeria is a mouthful. So it is a mouthful, Philemon. It is a mouthful. I agree with you.
The point is that you ask what kind of person Nigeria needs right now. I would say that Nigeria needs somebody who is patriotically mad, who is insane, patriotic. If you understand what I mean by that.
Okay.
Somebody who sees office not as a means to a personal end, but to a means to a nation's end. Who sees himself as a statesman who levitates above some of these issues and can have a wider perspective of what the country needs to move forward.
Okay.
I sometimes get bemused when I listen to what some of the candidates say about these issues. They make these issues look like what perhaps you and I would know as a walk in the park. You can just stand up and decree, as some of these Christians do these days. You decree that there should be no insecurity, and there will be no insecurity. You decree that there should be no lines at the fuel stations, and it is done. That is not how nations are built. That is not how nations are built. Nations are built by the sweat. It is by the sweat of those in leadership. So if you are aspiring to be the president of a country, I want to see that fire burning in your eyes. I want to see that torment in your soul that, hey guys, we are not supposed to be here. We are supposed to be a million miles away from here. So what are we really doing here? I want to see somebody who will flog people into line. Sometimes, even if it means damning the Constitution. I'm sorry to say this, because sometimes human beings can be so stubborn that you need to take some liberty to get them into line. But if you do it for the greater good of the people, we will pardon you for even breaking the Constitution. Not that I recommend you should break the Constitution or break the guidelines of the Constitution. But if that is what it will take to get people to behave the way they should behave, then we'll move forward. And we're also under this illusion that by merely changing the man at the top, everything will fall in. I don't know where we got that from. We are running a federation, right?
That is correct.
This federation has different components. You have the federal government, you have the state government, you have the local government. Now, the behavior that is exhibited at the federal level is the same behavior that is exhibited at the state level and at the local government level. So why do people believe that by merely electing a new president, we can have a new lease of life? I don't know where that came from.
So how do you, now, in your estimation, how do we get that if it's not by electing a new leader? How do you think that the society can evolve outside of change of leadership? How else do we do that?
We need a re-engineering of the entire process, my brother.
Okay.
We need a re-engineering of the entire process. If you do not re-engineer the entire process, it's like a house that is already compromised and you are putting very fine roof on top. What do you think will eventually happen? The house will come down. So if you see somebody buying a house that's already compromised, you will see what they normally do. They will demolish some areas, rebuild some areas, patch some areas, even remove the roof. So they do what is needed to bring the house back into shape in terms of tensile strength. Unless you do that, you are not building on something that will stand. So when I look at this country, I want a situation where the leaders, the elite class, the political class will sit down one day and say, okay, we've had enough. Where is the Constitution? We put it down. Okay. How do our people behave politically? Let us even start from there to the point I'm trying to prove. Okay. Now, you have parties. Parties conduct primaries. And let me tell you why we sometimes get it wrong. People believe that the election period offers them an opportunity to pick leaders that they want. That is not correct. You're only picking leaders that the political parties present to you. Do you understand my logic?
Sure.
So what that means is that if the political parties have been compromised, the process of putting people forward will be compromised. Now let's evaluate it. There are over 1,000 cases in court right now, pre-election cases. Why do we have those cases in court? Because the political parties have what they call constitution. It's a very simple document. But Ernest, between you and I, how many of these politicians abide by the simple wordings of their constitution about how their candidates will emerge? Now, so if you have a situation where this gentleman cannot just allow a simple process of saying this is what our constitution has said about picking a candidate. Therefore, let us throw it open so that somebody will emerge. And when that person emerges, there is a way you will win, and everybody will just shut up. You understand that?
Yeah, sure.
Except people who have covenant with demons, if I may put it that way, who just want to cause confusion. And we have people like that. But then when that happens, such people will be cautioned even by their own friends. They say, oh boy, forget that thing. This man win, you win. Let him go. So now, 2 days to election, or so how many days to election? The election is Saturday.
You are correct.
Do you know that some parties still don't know who their candidates are for that election? Do you know that?
Wow.
And this is something they have been preparing for 4 years.
Yeah, so Philo, how do we overcome these challenges? If we have this plethora of challenges hanging around our neck as a nation, how do we overcome it so we can move ahead?
First of all, when the people ask me this question, I find it difficult to answer. First of all, we must admit that we have sinned against our country. If we do not admit that what we are doing is wrong, then we cannot move forward. So if we get to that point where we admit that, oh boy, Nigeria as a country, Nigeria as a people, we are not supposed to be here. Once we make that admission, it means we have purged ourselves of our iniquities.
So how do we do? Is it the president who leads this admission, or is it the citizens who prompts the president to do it, or is it the clergy, the imams, or the pastors?
When you do that, and I told you during the action, and this guy was charging me 600 naira. I wanted to pay a mechanic, and he was charging me 600 naira. I said, no, I will not pay 600 naira or 3,000 naira, 3,500 naira. I will not do that. And I made the mechanic know the only way that transaction will go forward is if you take half of that charge. I will let it go because I need to get out of here. But I will not pay 600 naira or 3,000 naira, 500. So what that means is if you have sufficient number of people who are doing that, what do you think the POS fellow will do?
He will bow.
He will now begin to back down.
Okay. Because
he knows there is a resistance. Now, I'll give you another example. I went to play tennis somewhere at the stadium. I was going back home. I picked some of my friends and I parked properly within a beggar roundabout. And a police van just came and blocked me and said I was blocking traffic on a Saturday morning. Number one, there was no traffic on that Saturday morning. Number two, I was not blocking any traffic. Number three, I parked properly. And I took an oath with myself that I will not give these guys 1 penny of my money, no matter what happens. My brother, I paid very dearly for that decision because they entered my vehicle and I told them, I'm not even going to your police station with you. I am going home because I have not infracted you. I have not committed any offense. And as I was driving off, they held my steering wheel and ran me into a trailer. It was God that saved me and the police officer that did that. But the point I'm trying to make, when you have the people making that decision not to do the wrong thing, then at some point, people who are in authority, let's say police officers or military people who are trying to circumvent, who are trying to change the system, they will understand that there is a new language. That is how societies change. So the question now is, at what point do you think we will have that critical mass of people defying what they should defy? So if you go to a police station tomorrow and somebody is saying, oh boy, vote for Mr. X, vote for Mr. X, vote for Mr. Y, and he brings out a wad of 5,000 naira, and you take the money and you throw him on his face and you spit on his face, he will think twice before approaching the next person. But assuming he has the effrontery to approach the next person, and the next person does that, do you think he will have the effrontery to approach the third person?
I guess not.
Do you have the logic?
Yeah, I do.
So that is how society will change. Each person must be resolute. Me, I have made up my mind long ago that except I infract a traffic law, I will not give money to a police officer. And I have a long history going back 20 years. It has cost me a lot of trouble. But I'm prepared to take the trouble.
Okay, so
there was a point I told a lawyer, I am prepared to go to court.
Okay, so what you're saying in essence is that the reformation of Nigeria is on us as citizens, not to be depending on the leader. It is we, the citizens, who can make that change.
Okay, let me adjust that a little bit.
Okay.
Because it's a two-way traffic. It's a two-way traffic. Either the system, a new system is orchestrated from the bottom, or you have a mad leader. And I use that word advisedly. You have a leader who is insane and who tells himself, you people must be in line. And then he does what he needs to do. And he forces his ministers to acquit themselves in the proper way. And he forces his directors, his permanent secretaries to do the same thing. And the thing goes down the line. That is also a possibility. But it takes a heck of a human being to do that.
That's what I think I put this question in a different way, so you've made it simpler for me. Of these 18 candidates, do you see anyone in that mold?
I'm sorry, I don't.
Okay.
I don't.
So that means
I don't.
So that means we, the citizens, must now depend on ourselves after this election, not necessarily on the new president.
And I'll tell you why.
Okay.
Because we started this new process in 1999, right?
Yeah, that's correct.
How many years are we deep into it now?
About, you can say 22.
About 20-something years, 23 years,
yeah.
Or 22 years.
22 years, yeah.
Every 22 years. Every election since 1999, we have always said, oh, this is it, we must change, this is it, we must change the leadership, blah, 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 blah. Up to 2015, when it was even speculated that Nigeria would break apart. Do you remember that?
Yes, I do.
And then it was said it is a make or break situation. We passed through 2015. In 2019, I must tell you, I was looking at the situation, I was looking at the landscape, and I said to myself, will Buhari be re-elected? Given the amount of anger in the system. But guess what? He was re-elected, was he not? Now,
well, so many people felt that so many things went on about the 2019 election, but like I agree with you. Officially, President Buhari was re-elected. That is okay.
Was re-elected.
That is correct.
Irrespective of what people say.
Yes, irrespective of whatever speculation. Yeah, that's correct. Yes.
Okay. So now we are in 2023. I want you to reflect the state of the nation in 2015. If you are honest to yourself, Ernest, you look at the situation today and you look back at 2015, would you say we have done a great job as a nation between 2015 and 2019? Would you say that honestly to yourself?
Do you know that now that you ask, I've not really sat down to think about that, but off the cuff, I don't see much movement that we've made in the last 8 years thereabouts, since 2015 to now. I don't think, because fuel queues, Naira is cars, problems everywhere and all of that. So I don't really see much change that has taken place. Really.
Okay. So some people may say, okay, we are biased or whatever. I am not a politician. I am not a partisan person. I don't care who is in power. When I say what I say it as I see it. Now, if you break it down, and you mentioned a part of it, is it the energy sector that has been fixed? That in 2023, me, at my age, I'm still waking up early to see if I can get fuel somewhere. I'm still rushing, and a lady told me I have a jerry can, and the lady told me we don't sell a jerry. And I asked the lady, are you saying that I should bring my generator to the fuel station? And I actually saw people bringing generators to the fuel station, and I asked myself, what is that? Okay, so let's leave that one apart. Electricity came to Nigeria in 1896, right? In 2023, we are struggling with 4,000 megawatts. In 2015, we were about 5,000, 6,000 megawatts. So in the last 8 years, what has happened? Where I live, when I came in here in 2012, I was getting 24 hours of electricity. And I'm not in the villa. I was getting 24 hours of electricity where I live. Now, we are barely making between 12 and 13 hours a day. Is that progress?
But you are really enjoying if you make 13 hours of electricity daily. I guess some people listening to us are jealous of you right now for getting 13 hours of electricity.
Yes, and I can say that. And I tell my family members we need to appreciate God, because we are one of the fortunate people in this country getting 13 hours of light. There are times I have a generator. There are times I don't use it for like 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. So in electricity, we haven't done well. In the energy sector that we're talking about, oil and gas now, we haven't done well. Then we talk about politics itself, the process. Ernest, I am still bitter that today we are still talking about election violence. What is that?
But Philemon, just a moment, Philemon.
It is even more interesting. Yes.
Yeah, we had what is his name again? One of the presidential aides on information here at the very early stage of this our program, and it was telling us about, for instance, there's rail transportation, and it was talking about a pipeline, a gas pipeline being built, that these are foundations being laid for the next administration to benefit, that the gas pipeline is being laid up to Morocco, where Nigeria will now find a way to pump her gas to European countries who may need it, and that these are foundational issues this administration has been working on to ensure that the next administration is going to be reaping billions of dollars in revenue from most of the work underground that may not be evident to the Nigerians for now.
Can I ask you a question?
Please go ahead.
Because you have come to an area where I am an expert, oil and gas. Let me ask you this question. Do you know how long they have been building that pipeline?
No, I don't know.
Do you know?
No, I don't.
It started from Obasanjo's regime.
Okay.
So we are talking about 20 between 15 and maybe 18 years ago. We are building a pipeline from the Niger Delta to Kano, then upward to Morocco. Let me tell you something. When China, I did a course on oil and gas in Europe, and they took us through what happened within the political economy with respect to energy in Europe. And they gave us an example of what China did. China wanted gas from Russia, and Russia started playing games. So China went to a neighboring country and told them, don't bother, we will build the pipeline. Do you know how many years it took them to build the pipeline, Ernest? 1 year.
Wow.
To build the pipeline. 1 year. to build the pipeline. I was doing some consultancy with the Federal Ministry of Petroleum Resources when this was back in 2007, when they were talking about this pipeline that you just mentioned now. And they were talking about consultancy. If I tell you how much consultancy consumed before they even broke ground, then in 2018 or 2019, we had a conference here in Abuja, and the United Nations, United States guys from USAID, they were there, and the issue was that they were begging the federal government. They were saying, "What exactly do you need so that we can help you even run this pipeline from because the pipeline is heading towards Abuja right now, so that we can help you move this pipeline and get it to Kano. Between here and Kano is how many kilometers? How many?"
Wow. So, Philemon, what you're saying is that this is so the pipeline is not even in Kano yet, and we are talking about getting to Morocco.
It's not in Kano
and to Europe. Okay.
No, it's not even in Abuja yet.
Okay.
It's not even in Abuja.
Philemon, we are fast.
But I can tell you right now.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, you know we're fast running out of time. So, when I put all that you've said together, it means that all this talk by Nigerians that, look, this election is so important, this is the most important election, is not there yet. That we, the Nigerian people, need to begin to own our nation and begin to do the right things by heart.
That's right.
Okay. So is that your final advice to our citizens as we go forward to do elections on Saturday? That this is our nation, we need to do the right things.
My advice: do not invest your hope in a PVC.
Okay.
That is a very wrong strategy. Invest your hope in yourself and say, if this country is my property, and it is our property, what can we really do to move the country forward? Let's not pacify ourselves by saying it takes a long time, Rome was not built in a day. That is all rubbish. It's complete rubbish.
Okay.
We have everything. I was talking to somebody this morning, they say everything some countries desire, we have.
Okay.
Is it the manpower? We have. Is it the land? We have. Is it natural resources? We have. So what is our problem, really?
Okay.
No, you tell me. What is our problem? What is your problem, Ernest? I should start from you. What is your problem?
All right, Philemon, I want to thank you so much for carving out your very busy time to share your thoughts with us this afternoon on Citizen FM on the direction of leadership and how we should conduct ourselves to be great citizens of this great country. I would appreciate you for your time. Thank you so much, Philemon Ajekuko.
Always a pleasure, Ernest. Always a pleasure.
All right, you do have a wonderful day. And please vote for your preferred candidate without fears. Bye-bye. All right, that was Philemon Ajekuko joining me this afternoon to look at the issue as we go to the polls on Saturday. I had to round him out there just now because we still need to get back to this issue, which was really bugging a lot of our listeners yesterday. And I made a vow that we at Citizen FM here, our job is to ensure that we make effort to satisfy our listener like you, by bringing you the right information at the right time so you know exactly what to do. And earlier, before Philemon came on air, or before we got into the discussion, we had Madam Agnes Samakpe joining us. He's the head of Department of Voter Education at the INEC office, FCT here, and she gave us how you can locate your polling unit. How you can locate your polling unit before Saturday. It is important that from today, tomorrow, and the day after tomorrow, you go out there, locate your polling unit so you don't have problems on Saturday. And I will repeat the information she gave to us in case you were not listening at that time. She said that if you pick up your voter card, if you look at it, I have my voter card right here, and I had to pull it out to be sure of what she was saying. There is a number there. Right on top, under voter card. First, you see code. You see Federal Republic of Nigeria, Independent National Electoral Commission. Then you see code. Then you see a number. I have this number here. This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That's a 9-digit number. It's not that one. You see a place written voter card, voter's card. Under voter's card, you have a number called VIN. She said that is your VIN, voter identification number. He said that is your voter identification number, and that is the most important number in locating your polling unit. And what she said is that you pick up your phone from any of the networks. Pick up your phone, any of the networks. Text your state. For instance, if you're in Abuja here, your state is FCT. Your state is FCT. After you put FCT, you put your last name. If you're Francis Okoromado, you put Okoromado. Okay? I'm sorry. If your name is Abdul Mohammed, you put Mohammed. And if your name is Olayinka Olasunkomi, you put Olasunkomi, your last name, your family name. So you text your FCT, your last name, and then this number, this VIN, you go to the last 6 digits. Text the last 6 digits as well. So what are you texting? Your state, FCT, your last name, and the last 6 digits on your VIN, the last 6 digits of your VIN. You can text them to this number. There are 2 numbers. I'll call them out now. 0906 283 0860. I'll take the number again, this one. 0906 283 0860. And the other number is 0906 283 0861. You can see the 2 numbers are almost the same. The only difference is that the one is 60, one ends with 60, and the next one is the next line, the 61. That is it. It's 0906 283 0860, and then the other one is 861. So those numbers, you text those information to those numbers, and then your polling unit will pop up, and then you have to go around, move around to the place to locate it. Okay, this is where I'll be voting. So you just move straight to that place on Saturday. She gave another 2 ways you can do that, and she said you can go to the website on your phone, type in at that place they say search Google, you write www.voters .INEC Nigeria. INEC Nigeria is one word. INECNigeria.org. O-R-G. Okay, www.voters.inecnigeria.org. When you press it, it takes you to the INEC website, and then you follow the prompts to locate where your polling unit is. And the other one is www.cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS. I'll take that one again. www.cvr.inecnigeria.org/VVS. Okay, so that's the information we have for you this afternoon. That okay, in case you have any doubts, you can quickly buzz us. We have just about 4 minutes or thereabouts to wrap up this show. But if one lucky caller can call in, you can call in. There were those people who called in yesterday that they couldn't locate their polling units, and they made efforts. I don't know if it's Nze or yes. And then of course there was Kevin from Nyanya. I had Mike as well. I don't know which of them said that he couldn't locate his polling unit, and that he made efforts to do that. And so I sincerely hope that this information we have brought this afternoon will be of help to you and others who really want to locate their polling units before Saturday, when we Nigerians shall be going to the polls. So please, I'll take that information again quickly in the absence of a call. Okay, I have somebody calling me already. Hello, good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon, Ernest. I greet you.
Oh, thank you so much for calling. Is that Mike?
Yes, this is Mike calling from Nasa.
Oh, Mike, how are you doing this afternoon? Thanks for calling.
Yes, well, thank you. I thank God. I think the information are very vital, very good. But there's one I also want bothers me. I want to also to call on the security agencies. You know, that they should also focus more on those states that are, not friendly at all in terms of this election.
How do you mean? How do you mean they are not friendly?
When you look at the River State,
okay,
you understand. I mean, the security agency they need to look closely, watch out to that state, the River State, Imo State, and probably I think Anambra and some other flashpoints. I think our security agents. I know I'm not doubting the ability. I know if they mean to do a job, they will do it thoroughly. But those places are very important because we also want everybody to be a part of this election.
Okay.
And that's why I think in that regard, especially from the River State, because when you listen to what is going on there, how they are bullying people, and then whenever you are supporting whoever you want to support, they will go after you. I think those are places the security agency should be able to do the needful in that regard.
Okay.
So that all of us can be fully to go and cast our vote. Thank you so much.
All right, thank you so much, Mike, for calling us this afternoon from Nasarawa. Okay, that's it. I agree with that. Any area where people are being intimidated or being pressured to vote against their conscience, against their preferred candidate, I believe that the security agencies and the necessary authorities should step in to ensure that people are allowed to freely cast their votes without being intimidated or without being coerced to vote, because that's a form of intimidation or vote buying in the negative side. So please, let's be sure that on Saturday, we just go there and exercise our franchise. We shall be giving out this information tomorrow as well when we come on the show, so that everyone will have opportunity to locate their polling units before the election proper, so you don't have issues moving around on Saturday from polling unit to polling unit trying to be a part of the election. Well, this is about where we'll be pulling the curtains on this edition of the program for today. Don't forget, tomorrow by the same time, between 5 minutes past 3 and now, we'll be here again with another edition of Politics Now. I do sincerely hope you will join me at that time. My name is Ernest. I want to quickly thank Philemon Ajekuko, development economist, and of course, Madam Agnes Sam Akwe, the head of voter education at the INEC office here in the FCT. And to the rest of you who listen, and Mike who called in, do have yourself a wonderful afternoon. Bye-bye.